Can I dim this light? Huh. There we go, much better. Should I run the risk of doing music and monetizing? Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Let me turn on something real quick. All right, I'm ready. Should I push this back? Yeah, that looks good. Cool. Hey, just jumping in for a second. Hope you've been well. I was wondering if you've tried Kajal Ferris and if you think it smells like Sauvage Parfum / PDM Percival, like some say. May grab it. I have not tried that. I've not tried Kajal. In fact, the only Kajal that I'm minorly interested in is Lamar. And I haven't even tried that yet, but it is on my list. So maybe a guy who you should check out for Kajal reviews is Kel's TV, I believe. He'll have an opinion about it for sure. Hope he's able to help you, brother. I'm not really into like super duper sweet fragrances, so that's not really a DNA that I would chase. I say that, and there's clearly fragrances behind me that are sweet dominant, but it's a very rare case for me. There's certain sweet accords that really gravitate towards me, specifically like more floral sweet rather than like honey sweet or gourmand sweet and things like that. So it's very circumstantial for me. So I don't even like typically like the Percival DNA. Sauvage Elixir is cool, but it's a bit generic for me in my fragrance journey. Not generic because it's a designer or generic because of the price, but just in terms of the DNA structure of it, it's something that I feel like I've kind of outgrown. So I don't really gravitate towards a lot of Sauvage DNA structures, for lack of better words. What's up, Gomez? What's poppin'? Good to see you, brother. Braun, the best Jean-Paul Gaultier is Le Male Elixir. But you don't even have to spend all that money on Le Male Elixir anymore, because now you can just get either Kingdom or Lionheart. Latafa Kingdom, 10 out of 10 clone of Le Male Elixir for about 25 bucks. Hope that's helpful for you. You can still get Lamal Elixir and spend your $80 to $100 on it and have a cool looking bottle, you know, with a guy's bust and crotch. But you could just get Kingdom and have Lamal Elixir, or you can get what I like a little bit better than the Lamal Elixir DNA is really close to it though, is something like I gotta be careful here with this new setup. Halloween Man Shot. Just a touch more versatile than Lamal Elixir. Lamal Elixir tends to feel like date night only, or like a hookah lounge, or a bar. This is a little more versatile, and it still has the cinnamon, the vanilla, the spices, the tobacco. Still has everything that you're looking for. Try this, 120 ml. You can probably get it for about 30 to 40 bucks. Any season, any reason, but still captures that date night seduction with that honey, tobacco, vanilla DNA. You'll probably have better access to Latafa Kingdom, but that right there to me is just a hair better. How you guys digging the new setup? Let me see if I can actually point the camera so you guys can see all of it. So we've got four levels so far. I couldn't bring everything out, but I tried to put as many bottles up here as I possibly could, just so you guys can kind of have more to look at when we go live. I find that many people like to see the collection, so try to show as much of it as humanly possible. What was I trying to smell today? So the new pickups today was, oh, Bulgari. Okay. So just got in, thank you, Shamil. Just got in today, Bulgari, Man in Black. Really excited about this pickup. It's almost a much more masculine take of like a Tom Ford Black Orchid DNA. Less orchidy, but still feels like that velvety cacao Black Orchid structure, but just way more fresher and masculine. So it's way more any season, any reason. But it's got some dark seduction, sophistication, vetiver. Oh my gosh, this is nice. Super upscale casual to formal. Gosh, it's such a good DNA. Out of all the Bulgaris, even in the signature line, I really like this the most. It's crazy. I tried all the Bulgaris, even Tigar and all that. And for some reason, I said, give me this. I love this way more. And what's cool is the cap, you screw it to the right and it locks the fragrance. So if you want to travel with this, you can screw the top and it'll twist it in lock mode. And you could take this with you on the road. But great new pickup today. And then the other pickup was, Teriyaki Intense. Gosh, Bulgari smells so good, man. People think it's not all that, but I'm like, you must not be in sales. You must not be in business. Because if you're a businessman and you dress up at all, or you make sales, or you have to meet people a lot and dress upscale, that fragrance is a freaking monster. Sup, Greenlee? Good to see you. What up, Mo? Tom Ford Grey Vetiver. What's that one like? Teriyaki Intense is nice. TCG was capping when he said Teriyaki Intense is the best Latafa, but it is up there, top 5 at least. Let's see. Okay, so Tom Ford Gray Vetiver. There's a couple things you should know about it. Number one, vetiver can be rendered in different accords. So vetiver can have a smoky accord, a woody accord, a soapy accord, an inky accord, a green accord. And so the question becomes, when you're dealing with a vetiver fragrance, what accord is the vetiver rendering? And in this one, it's a soapy, earthy vetiver. On the top, you have a kind of riney grapefruit, not necessarily like fresh, juicy flesh of a grapefruit, more the rind of the grapefruit. Super dry and clean grapefruit up top. I believe the mid might be saffron, I forget. But basically, and then in the base you have vetiver. I think bourbon or not bourbon, Haitian vetiver, and then some other base vetiver. They don't specify. But that fragrance smells soapy, expensive, slightly green, slightly grapefruity, but not sweet grapefruit to where you're like, that's grapefruit. It comes off more like a citrus that is grapefruit-esque in the very lightest, earthiest way. But it's a soapy, clean, super upscale, super expensive type of fragrance, suit and tie, collared shirt and slacks. You can wear it upscale casual, but you should definitely dress the part. If you're gonna wear white tee and jeans with gray vetiver, it doesn't really make sense. Thank you, love the shelves, appreciate it, Greenlee. I tried to do a 4-tier shelf layer. Can't really, I mean, I have 2 more shelves in the base, but you guys can't really see that, so I figured 4 tiers is good enough. I didn't want to bust everything out, but here's all the heavy hitters, so now you guys can see them. We'll occasionally, I think there's about 25 fragrances on each shelf, so all the very familiar stuff that people see on the channel. Today's newest pickup was Teriyaki Intense and Bulgari Man in Black. Monday we get in Bentley Unlimited Intense. We get Ombre Noir from Lalique, and my final pickup from Lalique, Linsumi. Scent Bubble was good. Scent of the day, 9 p.m. Haven't worn it in years. Outgrown it. Was trying to reach back to appreciate some old frags. Okay, I'm gonna do you one better. So take off on 9 p.m. and throw Encre Noir Sport under it. Try that out. If as an older man you're smelling 9 p.m., it's too tropical, it's too sweet, throw a little bit of that slightly bitter Eau Sauvage DNA under it, either in the form of, I wouldn't really say Eau Sauvage, even though it could work. Lalique's Encre Noir Sport under this, or Invictus Aqua under this, or Coach Platinum or Coach for Men under this, just to give it a little more nuts, and it'll go crazy on you, bro. Scent of the day, Comra, no sissy sprays. Okay, I see you. Spray up, bros. Do you have a good freshie for winter cold weather? A freshie for cold weather kind of sounds like an oxymoron to me, but there's a couple. Vetiver Sensual would go crazy. Vetiver Sensual will go crazy in cold weather. It's seasonless, but Vetiver Sensual would go crazy. You can always be very safe. Aqua de Gio Eau de Parfum. Again, these shine the most in warm weather, but in cold weather, you know, they can be very great. Obviously, Tom Ford Gray Vetiver can still rock in cold weather. Yeah, since you're talking freshies, I'm thinking clean. Oh, this is a great one. This is a great one for cold weather. Mont Blanc Presence. A nice upscale, rich smelling white floral. It's got a touch of powder, but it's mostly just this very airy, almost mint cooling sensation slash white florals slash super clean cut. Really, really would dig that. Amir Celestial would also go very good in cold weather. I would say Amir Celestial or Mont Blanc Presence. And then off the back burner of that, Tom Ford, Mancera Vetiver Sensual, or Aqua di Gio Eau de Parfum. Have you tried Embark My Life? If not, try it. It's about $10 for 30 ml. It smells very good. What's it smell like, buddy? You wore black origami with it, and I was like, okay, but don't want to always have to layer to wear it. Bro, you know what's better than black origami by like 20%, bro? Triple Traders, Zara Man, Fragrance World. Out of black origami, Oud 24 Hours, and then there's one other black origami clone. There's or a black orchid clone. There's 4 major ones that everybody's picking up right now. This blew me away. This was the only one that to me is better than black orchid, because black orchid has such nuts to it and such a weight. I almost wanted like in the same way that DHP kind of freshens up the creamy iris DNA of Dior Homme Intense. This kind of puts some dust on the black orchid DNA to make it a lot more fresher, so it renders more versatile. You don't just have to do it for like date feels. It can kind of go like upscale casual, dark mystery man, seductive while still being fresh. Zara Man is a killer black orchid clone, and to me, I prefer that over black orchid. And I compared them very closely side by side. The only difference between the two is black orchid is a touch heavier on patchouli cacao. This still has cacao and patchouli, but in a much fresher way. Still super dense, still super beast mode, 8 or 9 out of 10 beast mode, but I absolutely am loving Zara Man right now. Thank you, Greenlee, for the transcriptions. Do you have any recommendations for long-lasting freshies? I don't know if I would call this a freshie, but it definitely has a fresh element to it. Ferragamo Bright Leather is a beast mode freshie. Halloween Man Purple Bottle is a beast mode freshie. I don't know about beast mode. Long lasting is, I'm guessing, like 8 hours plus. This one isn't really a freshie. It's almost like a freshie white floral sweet musk, but it's still very fresh and uplifting. The Musk Therapy clone from Initio. This is Glorious Oud Royal Blanc Extrait de Parfum. This is beast mode as well. Incredible fragrance. This is not Lattafa Honor and Glory. Another fresh, not necessarily beast mode, but very uplifting, at least 7 hours plus. Sahib Intense, Imagination LV clone. Another one to consider is Valencia Uomo Intense, which is Valentino Uomo Intense. Another fresh beast mode fragrance, 8 hours plus. This is actually only $13 at TJ Maxx. Very nice fragrance. I think on Fragrance by CA you can get it for like 20. Another sleeper of a fresh, long-lasting fragrance, 10 hours fragrance off of about 6 to 10 sprays is Vibrant Vetiver Delight, believe it or not. If you want to smell like a slightly expensive can of old school Sprite, not the new formula, the old school Sprite, Vibrant Vetiver Delight is a very slept-on juice for spring, summer, freshy with charm and signature. That's very playful but extremely fun to wear. Try that out as well. Smells like woody, musky, warm, a little Rasasi Hawass. Gotcha. Okay. What was the name of that Zara perfume you showed earlier? This is Zara Man. And the only place you can get it is Triple Traders. Zara Man. TripleTraders.com is the only place you can buy this fragrance. This is hands down the best Black Orchid clone I've come across. And to me, it's better than Black Orchid because you can actually wear this any season year round. But it's exactly Black Orchid. Scent of the day, Rayhan Tiger Cow Cologne Edition. Cologne of oh, gotcha. Wow. I haven't tried that yet. Have you tried Suspiro Vibrato or any Suspiro fragrances? I have not, Shamil. I'm sorry. Lalique Equus is on the way. I guess Zara Man will be about to tonight. Yeah, dude. You got to get Zara kicks when you try. Now listen, Black Origami is very good smelling. I actually do like it. It's a good smell. But comparatively to Zara Man, bro, we're talking like 20-30% better as a fragrance and closer to Black Orchid with all the performance. Zara Man is scary good. And because it's a little touch fresher, it's an even better layering fragrance. Because it isn't so rich and chocolatey and velvety and patchouli, which it is, but not as much as Tom Ford. It's dialed back just a smidge, that you can actually bend it a couple different ways. You can make it smoky, you know, throw Mahir Black on top of it. You could throw Bentley Absolute on top of it. You can Aventus it out and throw some birch under it with Lalique Alexstrem. Yeah, it's incredible. Matter of fact, the Musk Therapy and that might go crazy together as well. A white floral pairing with the orchid. Put some powder on that cacao. Yeah, bro. Yeah, Zara Man is probably... I wish I got it in 2024 because it would go in my top 5 best clones of 2024. But I got it, 2 weeks ago. Scent of the day, LV Imagination. Just picked it up today. I'm in love. I'm glad, man. I'm glad you're in love with it, man. It's a good fragrance. If you had to only pick... Now, what I would do, New Law, is to collect half your money back. I would start decanting out 5 mLs of Imagination because you can sell them for like $15 or something like that. Sell like 20 ml of your fragrance, collect back like 60 bucks, and you'll still have juice that'll last you a year or two, and you can have more money. If you had to only pick 2 fragrances for life, what would you pick? Really simplified fragrances. I'm married. I don't need a date night fragrance if I don't want to, so I'd probably typically go with more fresh everyday wears. I could really go anything. I could go Grey Vetiver. I could go Man in Black. I could go Vetiver Sensual. I could go Halloween Man Purple. I could go Versace Eros EDT. I could go Fraghead's Asylum for that Elysium clone. I could go Equus. I could go Musk Therapy. I could go Oud Wood, but I really wouldn't. I would probably pick Amir Celestial over it. Just stuff super earthy, airy, fresh as my for life fragrances. Stuff that just uplifts me, makes me feel in touch with the earth and freshness. And I wouldn't really go for signatures and fruits and super complex stuff. I would just go for a very simple accent fragrance. I pulled the trigger on a tester of Ombre Noir from Joma Shop for $40 today. Okay, SoCal, if you can, this is vital. You have to hear me here. Okay, so I initially ordered my Linsumi from Lalique and my Lalique Ombre Noir from Joma. I originally ordered them both from Joma, but if you look at the purchase section, it says in fine print, 2 to 4 weeks ship out. Now, what happened with me is I got all the way to week 4 and it never shipped. It went the full month and I never got the fragrance, and I had to inquire about it, and they told me it was even further of a wait. So you're not going to get that fragrance anytime soon from Joma. When you order a fragrance on Joma Shop, they actually don't charge your card. They they do a pending charge and hold your money um, until they ship. They don't actually clear that pending charge until the fragrance ships. So if I were you, bro, I would refund the order and cancel it and go over to Fragrance Buy and order both of those because you're going to get them almost exactly at the same price. And um, my Ombre Noir and Insumi shipped um, within 2 days of my Fragrance Buy purchase. So 2 days versus potentially 1 to 2 months. Definitely get off Joma Shop. I literally just canceled my Joma Shop order like 4 days ago. Put in an order to Fragrance Buy because I was really getting worried about Joma like not having it in stock, because they don't have it in stock. They're just telling you they have it in stock and they're waiting to get it from some random supplier. So they're just holding your money hostage. Just cancel it. They'll instantly give you a refund within 24 hours. Hop over to Fragrance Buy, buy Ombre Noir, and call it a day. And you'll get that fragrance in less than a week and some change. I'll probably, when it's all said and done, getting it on Monday, I got the fragrances in 6 days from the order date on Fragrance Buy. So definitely do that, bro. Greetings from Macedonia. What's up, Hornet? Good to see you, buddy. Thoughts on that concrete Offnon bottle? Offnon Supremacy Collector's Edition. Very nice. Comparatively, Armaf's Pre-Show and this obviously are going in the direction of Aventus Absolute. The difference between this and Pre-Show is this doesn't feel like vibrant, bright, lemony-esque pineapple. It feels like pineapples out of the can. So it's a little more subdued, a little quieter. Still a beast mode fragrance, but the pineapple itself is a little quieter and sweeter. But they ramp up the oak moss. So it feels like it right when it got to Aventus Absolute, it took a slight turn and started going towards Nishane Hasavat with heavy oak moss. But it's still a very sweet pineapple-y oak moss fragrance. It lacks a little bit of the birch, but it's an incredibly high compliment monster. Very good. Closer to Hasavat. Think of it that way. Pre-Show is closer to Aventus Absolute, but where this took a turn is they dropped out some of the birch and oak moss and ramped up the pineapple to be a lot brighter, in the same way that Club de Nuit Intense Man is, in the same way that Limited Edition Parfum, in the same way that L'Aventure from Al Haramain is. It's a much juicier, brighter, zingy pineapple. But it is, like, I would call this like 90% close to Aventus. But if you want Aventus Absolute perfectly, you have to take this fragrance and you have to throw Ancre Noir a la Extreme under it, which is basically a clone of Chanel Sycamore. Very dry, red, resinous, smoky woods, which translates like a cedar birch accord, which is the only accord that Pre-Show is missing. So if you add this to Pre-Show at a 1-to-1 ratio, you'll get 1-to-1 Dead Ringer Aventus Absolute. But as a standalone fragrance, the way they ramped up the pineapple here will feel like Versace Eros Energy, but it's better than Energy. It's more masculine. It's more close to the true Aventus Absolute with that earthiness and that woodiness in the base, but they kind of gave you the same vibrancy of pineapple that Eros Energy has. This is better than Eros Energy. It's cheaper. And this will get you compliments, a ton of compliments, just wearing this by itself. But if you want true absolute DNA, you have to put some woods under it from a la extreme, and you'll have a 1-to-1. Nonetheless, this totally competes with it. It's just a different deviation. This will also get you a ton of compliments, but it smells 20 to 30% different from Show because it goes in the oak moss direction and it has a slightly different pineapple rendering. It's more subdued, sweetened, canned pineapples. The other one is like fresh cut, flesh, zingy pineapples with some lemon in it. But both great fragrances. You can put a la extreme under this as well, but it's not really going to give you absolute. It's just going to take you even closer to Hasavat. I love that you guys are helping each other out. So Scent Bubble turned me on to Vibrant Vetiver Delight by Paris Corner. Wearing that, it is like vibrato and basso at the same time. Wow. And in fact, if you want Vibrant Vetiver Delight to feel even closer to Byredo's Bal de Freak, which is what this is cloning, you simply have to put something earthy under it. I recommend something like Tom Ford's Oud Wood, or Maison Alhambra's Woody Oud. You put that under this, and now you have like a 95% clone of Byredo's Bal de Freak. So try that, guys. But if you don't, and you just wear this by itself, it's only about 9 out of 10 close to Bal de Freak, only because Bal de Freak smells exactly like this, just a little more earthy. You smell like kind of a rich, soily undertone to this playful DNA. So it still smells like rich Sprite, but with earthiness under it, almost like a rainforest cafe, rainforest earthy. Like if you were to walk through a musty rainforest, that is the base inside of this that Bal de Freak smells like. So this is just more of that green, soapy, playful green, sweet vetiver, but it's still an amazing fragrance by itself. I'm just telling you, if you want to get closer to Bal de Freak, you got to start comboing and get into that. Have you tried Fragrance World's Arche? If so, what's your thoughts? I haven't tried it, bro. I haven't tried it yet. I'm going to screenshot that so I can pick that up next. I am moving on to niche right now for like a couple of months. There's a couple of niche fragrances I'm really trying to get my hands on, so I'm kind of going out of the clone category for a little bit and the designer category to pick up some more niche. Yo, Scent Bubble, I sent the email of my collection. When's the video on that going to be? Next week, I release part 2 of Let Me Rate Your Fragrance Collection. So if any of you guys want me to rate your fragrance collection and give you some recommendations on stuff that I think you should add to your collection and whatnot, send a picture of your fragrance collection to scentbubblesubmit@gmail.com. Scentbubblesubmit@gmail.com. And I'd be happy to collect those pictures and put that on my next episode. Will you pick up Encre Noir Indigo when the price drops? Yes, but I'm not really interested in Indigo, even though Indigo is most people's top 3 best Lalique fragrances in their rankings. It's a really good fragrance, but for me in my collection, I don't really need the DNA of it. So the only reason I would pick it up is to finish my collection. So I probably won't pick up Indigo for probably another couple of months. But other than that, after Lin Sumi and Ombre Noir come on Monday is when it's expected to arrive, I will have every fragrance from the Lalique house. So I'm going to do a power ranking video probably end of next week on the Lalique house and what you should get in order. Would you recommend buying Mercedes-Benz Club Black, and is it really as good as people say it is? CT, if you own less than 20 or 30 fragrances, it's an amazing, spicy, sweet, ambery vanilla. Think Maison Francis Kurkdjian Grand Soir Light. Mercedes Club Black is supposed to be the budget alternative to Grand Soir. Vanilla, amber, a little bit of spices. Great date night scent. Very long lasting, good performer and everything. Doesn't smell more expensive than Grand Soir by any stretch of the imagination. Grand Soir isn't as spicy as far as like, you know, kind of like cinnamon coriander type of vibe, or not coriander. I can see it, but I can't say it. I forget. Cardamom, something like that. Um, but it's in the wheelhouse in a budget alternative. Everybody loves that fragrance. If you have a ton of fragrances and you have some experience with niche and stuff like that, going to Club Black, you're still gonna wear it, but it's not gonna absolutely blow your socks off, but it'll have some great utility. I typically tend to lean towards an iris-based vanilla in that category. Like, even though Mercedes Black is very good, I might lean towards like something like Givenchy's Gentleman Reserve Privé, Dior Homme Intense, you know, 2020 or down. Um, you know, even I forget which Gucci Guilty it is, but even that one. But again, if you have 30 or less bottles, you'll absolutely love it. It's a great fragrance. What's up, Manav? What's up, Michael? I need a date night fragrance. What would you recommend? Like a leathery vanilla? Ooh, that's a good question. If you're going in the route of vanilla, I might be tempted to push you towards two fragrances. Ah! Halloween Man Shot. This is vanilla, some spices, some oceanic freshness, and tobacco. So think Lamal Elixir, but way more versatile. Incredible. Might be hard to get though. It is somewhat discontinued, but if you can find this juice, insanely affordable. One of the most slept on fragrances ever. No one will smell like you if you have this. Another fragrance, DNA that I would go in the realm of if you have like vanilla interests is Tuxedo DNA. I think this is highly slept on. Maison Alhambra Kismet, Tuxedo DNA. Vanilla, boozy. I think there's either leather or suede in this. Boozy, ambery, vanilla, and some spices, but feels sophisticated. So even if this doesn't have a leather note, I forget, it still has that nuts under it that feels like what the leather accord does with fragrances like that. Let me see if I have any other. This Teriyaki Intense as well, though. This Teriyaki Intense is in that wheelhouse too. Very good. Very, very good. Vanilla. Yeah. Yeah. You can always go Angel Share too. Shamil. Okay. I got my Alex Stremin. I like it. Perfect layering frag. Like you said, I ordered the original Encre Noir today. Gotcha. Yeah. And let me tell you this, man. Even by itself, it's one of those fragrances that's so simple. I find as you start to explore more fragrances, SoCal, you'll start to come back to Encre Noir à l'Extrême and just appreciate, like, because right now when you first smell it, it's just, you know, kind of resinous, burnt wood, somewhat fresh kind of feel, right? So you're like, yeah, you can recognize that it's a great layering fragrance, but the more woody fragrances you smell and then come back to it, you'll start to have a much more appreciation, and you may even be tempted in the cold weather to really spray that on, and you'll start to, I find myself in the year that I've owned it, I find myself like really appreciating it more and more and more as a standalone woody fragrance compared to a lot of fragrances. Not to mention, if you ever smell Chanel Sycamore, this beats it, and it's only a $20 fragrance. So yeah, it will really grow on you, but it is an incredible layering fragrance, like you said. No Clue said, what do you think about All Rehab Choco Musk? I have not tried it. CT says, I blind bought Rasasi Hawass today, and I'm really excited. Okay. Okay. I hope you enjoy it. Do I have Hawass? I do have Hawass. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Scent Bubble, what's your best Pacific Chill clone that you can suggest? Ooh. I don't know the name of it, but Bowtie the Fragrance Guy, if you go on his search channel and type Pacific Chill clone, he has a really solid one. The one I would recommend, so let me just say this, Kicks. When it comes to LV fragrances, the perfumer is the same perfumer that did Issey Miyake, the whole line. And those carry a similar note palette, these kind of fresh, aquatic, playful fruit medleys. And you can recognize that in a lot of the Issey Miyake fragrances. Same perfumer. In my humble opinion, when you get into the LV fragrances, Pacific Chill, Meteor, Ombre Nomad, not Ombre Nomad as much, but Meteor, Pacific Chill, Afternoon Swim, Imagination, L'Immensité, they're all kind of in the same wheelhouse of like highly sophisticated aquatic multi-wears or fresh fruity multi-wears occasion, right? For me, that DNA, those DNAs are so, they smell sophisticated with LV, but the more and more you wear them, the more they lose the sophisticated feel, I find. So for me, when I'm shopping clones for them, I don't really need to find a clone with the same level of sophistication as them, right? Because, like, again, we're in the wheelhouse of like Elysium, Elysium, Equus, Tygar. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're in that wheelhouse of like citruses, maybe like vetiver, neroli, ginger, all those accords, right? So for me, I find that most clone houses can really nail those DNAs up to about somewhere between 80 and 90%, and then the 10 or 20% it lacks is just the nuts, like the sophisticated base to give it some complexity. So I, for like a Pacific Chill clone, would actually recommend like a $20 fragrance you can get off TikTok. That's called like, it's not called Pacific Chill, it's called like Afternoon Nights or something like that. You can get it, if it's your first fragrance you've ever purchased on TikTok Shop, you can get it for like 45% off. So you can wind up getting a Pacific Chill clone that's like at least 80 to 85% close and only pay like 11 to 20 bucks on it. I wouldn't really be the guy to get Bowtie's recommendation and spend the 40 to 60 just to get, you know, Afternoon Swim or Pacific Chill vibes, because they're so linear to me. But I don't know, to each his own. So I would say if you want a really good clone, search, you know, Pacific Chill or Afternoon Swim clone on Bowtie's channel. He has a really good one. Another guy who has a really good one is TLCG, has another Pacific Chill and Afternoon Swim clone. Might be from Luciano. I'm not quite sure, but check that out. They'll get you right. Hawass is good. Hawass Ice is good too. Yeah, I think Hawass Ice is better than Hawass just due to like being a little more interesting. Like I said, you guys know me. This isn't a literal fact, but in my mind, for where I'm at in my fragrance journey, Nautica Voyage, Banana Republic Arctic Slate, and Risasi Hawass are all the exact same fragrance to me. So, and Invictus Aqua. So I'm not that excited about that DNA. I have 3 renderings of it. To me, if you're gonna go in the realm of citric or green apple based aquatics blues, I just think there's so many other better renderings of that DNA that come out more sophisticated. Elysium, FOMO Fragheads Asylum, Lalique Equus. Even though Equus is not really a blue fragrance, they do the exact same thing but go vetiver amber rather than aquatic, and that's okay. Mont Blanc Legends Spirit Blue, you know, spearmint citric. Even Tygar or Tarathi Blue, better blue. Those, again, those 3 are kind of like, You know, Eros EDT to me is a blue. Even though it's like a vanillic, it's still got the freshness and it's still got the green apple. It might go vanilla fresh alongside of it, but it still to me is a true blue. It's just not aquatic, but it has a fresh airiness that if it isn't aquatic, it's still on the beach, if that makes sense. So that's just me. Nautica Voyage, Risasi Hawass, Banana Republic's Arctic Slate, Invictus Aqua, those type of DNAs to me are like very entry level to fragrance aquatics. They will always get the job done, but they're not going to blow anybody's socks off. They're not going to turn heads. If you're talking to anybody, they'll just tell you you smell good in a very kind way. They're not going to say like I need to know what that fragrance is because they're so generic. You know, apple, aquatic, fresh, citric, alternative, bergamot, you know. I'm past that for me. I have to send you a new picture. When's the last day to get our picks in? Honestly, if you get anything in before Sunday, I'll review it. Amouage Interlude 52 clones. I don't have any. I'm really sorry, buddy. If anyone has any Amouage Interlude 52s, hook that guy up. Speaking of rate my collection, I spent some time today calculating my total spend since I started. I would be really curious to see what that number is, Greenlee. Because I was trying to do the math in my head because I saw you had the entire collections of so many things. You know, Tom Ford, Roja, Parfums de Marly. You know, you had so many fragrances. I was trying to calculate it and my brain started hurting. Oh, see, this is a really good question. Okay, pay attention to this, guys. Bruno said, fragrance clones inspired by Prada Black. Okay, so nothing is really inspired by Prada Black. However, when you smell Prada Black, you kind of get this very soft, and I wish they didn't do this because Prada Black is a sexy, black tux, slightly sweet, super dark mystery man, old James Bond type of fragrance. You really have to pack it on, though, to get it to push. It's a fragrance that people have to get real up in your face to feel in its fullness. It's a solid DNA, but the performance, most importantly, the projection and longevity is so buns, you really have to wear it skin only and hit every pulse point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 almost. Like it really is so weak. The price you're paying for that juice, I just can't resolve it. Now, what are fragrances in that wheelhouse, in the designer category, or even the clone category that are in the same arena, but they're not necessarily that? I think the closest DNA to that wheelhouse is probably oh gosh, where is it? Oh, so this is really close to that DNA. Lattafa's Badi Al Oud for Glory. Though it leans slightly Middle Eastern, you still get this kind of patchouli, black, dark oud mysteriousness, but it's extremely fresh. This is in the wheelhouse of it. A little more Middle Eastern, though, than my liking. Another fragrance in that wheelhouse is... oh, this is actually a great alternative to Prada Black. Odyssey Homme Black Edition is going to get you in that wheelhouse, but have way more projection and push. Another DNA in that wheelhouse is Black Orchid. Obviously, if Tom Ford's Black Orchid smelled exactly how it did now, but removed the orchid, you would have something in the wheelhouse of Prada Black with a lot more push. I really wish they would have ramped up the patchouli to really give that push. So Zara Man from Fragrance World is gonna, it's more Black Orchid from Tom Ford, but it still has the darkness, the seduction, the upscaleness, and it isn't quiet. I believe there's one. Oh, this is a great one. Okay. So if you can get your hands on it, this is actually, to me, going to be the closest DNA you can find to a Prada Black DNA, but get the performance you're looking for. This is Bulgari Man in Black. I believe right now you can get this fragrance for about $60 or $70 on fragrancebuy.ca. And if you can find it, you can definitely get a 50 ml version of this for like $40 or $50, but I would highly recommend you just push to the 70 to get yourself 100 ml, because this is any season, any reason, upscale, slightly dark, very sophisticated, masculine, but still fresh, highly, yeah, this is, yeah. If you want Prada Black, get this instead. You'll get way more performance, a slightly more interesting fragrance, and incredible sillage and projection. Bulgari Man in Black. That's going to be what you want to pick up. That is spot on. And they ramped up the patchouli. There is a new Grand Soir clone by Fragrance World called Soir. Well, it's actually called Dun Soir. I'm going to be honest with you. Dun Soir or Dune Soir is very nice, but it's not Grand Soir. This is closer to Grand Soir. Eternal Oud from Latafa. This is closer to Grand Soir. However, it's a little more dusty, airy, fresh. I wish it was more warm and creamy. I'm still looking for something to put under this to get it closer to Grand Soir. You know, something like maybe even maybe Teriyaki Intense might be a good alternative, or like something close to Dior Homme Intense. I'm thinking of like, because the only thing it's lacking is like that creaminess. Like it feels more fresh and dusted. So I don't know. You know, Eternal Oud to me is like 90%, and then the 10% it lacks the creamy richness, but it's still rich, vanillic. It captures all that. I think I just wanted a little more ambery and dense, but yeah. It's still better to me than Dun Soir though. Dun Soir is only about 80% close to Grand Soir, and then it just is a twist somewhere else. Still a good fragrance though. Jag says, I got decants of Green Extravaganza and Eros Energy today. Not as much of a fan of green as I was when I smelled it in the store, but probably will pick up Prosciutto because I love Eros Energy. Yeah, Prosciutto's better than Eros Energy, and it's cheaper. Point blank period. Energy is a good fragrance. Don't get me wrong. You'll get a lot of compliments because loud pineapple gets compliments. It's just what it is. But Prosciutto will get you way more compliments. What's your favorite note in perfumery? Mine's is grapefruit. Also, fresh citric aromatic Elysium silver mountain water type of DNA. Any recommendations? Honestly, grapefruit is a great accord. And in fact, they pair it a lot of times with one of my favorite accords, which is vetiver. Vetiver in so many fragrances is paired with grapefruit. Grey vetiver, Terre d'Hermes, Latafa Fatan, Elysium. You know, it's just, it's a great note. I like vetiver a lot. I love grapefruit. I love lime. I love amber. I love, I'm a weird guy, man. I like cypriol. I like birch. I like, cardamom. I like a lot of stuff, man. I can't narrow it down. Okay. Yeah, so if you want an Elysium clone, 100% you want FOMO Fragheads Asylum, the best Elysium clone on the market with incredible performance, and it's only about $25 to $30. FOMO Fragheads Asylum, incredible Elysium clone. Though via Greenlee, I did have another great Elysium clone, but this performs better than it, but they both smell the same. If you want a Silver Mountain Water clone, I would definitely pick up Off Non Supremacy in Heaven. Yeah. Kicks. I know 4 Did Kicks say something? No, he didn't. Okay. Okay. Do you have a recommendation for a good fragrance with real oud, Indian or Cambodian oud that's under 150? No. I mean, here's the thing, bro. Most people dealing with ouds and designers, which is what that price point is like a designer price point, they're using synthetic oud. Bro, believe it or not, like real oud, like that I'm familiar with, costs like anywhere between $500 and $5,000. Oud, for whatever reason, I'm not that researched on it, but oud, for whatever reason in the Middle East, is like gold. The way it's extracted, how it's used in fragrance, the whole process is very tedious and very nuanced in terms of what you get. Unfortunately, even though it's a tedious process, the more close you get to real oud, the more animalic and finkly it gets. So believe it or not, it's actually better to pay for synthetic oud because the closer you get to real oud, the closer to someone's butthole you get, for lack of better words. Like, you know, remember in the old movie Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, when the starting scene is him coming out of a rhino's butt? That's where they get oud. And that's just what I see when I think of oud. I have a friend who I was telling you guys, the guy who got bright leather and was absolutely blown away by it, even though he only purchases niche. And by the way, I got to roll out in 4 minutes, guys. But my friend who only buys niche, he has purchased $500, $1,000, and $2,000 Indian oud extract oils. And the reason he purchased the oils is because a lot of the Middle Eastern fragrances that have the real oud in them cost thousands of dollars. And the only ones really kind of doing it right is like Mind Games, Bodacy Victorious, and then other names I haven't even heard of. So he wanted to get some real oud extracts to see what the highest level of oud rendering was like. And when he said he could barely even open the cap to the oils, he wasn't lying. I mean, it just goes so finkel. I would not recommend any American start trying to buy expensive oud unless you're dealing with an American brand that's probably going synthetic more than real with it. Initio Oud for Greatness, one of Mind Games' fragrances, Bodacy Victorious, stuff like that. Any good clones for Meteor? I think Maitre. I think this might be a clone of like I think this is the Meteor clone. I'm not sure. Maitre? I'm not sure, but whatever Jean Low fragrance is the clone of Meteor is really nice and very affordable. Oh, Kix retracted his message. Okay. Have you smelt any of the Al Harmain Amber Oud line? Yeah, I have. The only one I haven't tried is blue, but I've had the gold, the Herba Pura DNA. A lot of people like it. I don't. It's too sweet for me. I've tried Xerjoff's Herba Pura, and I've tried Herba, and I've tried Amber Oud Gold Edition. I have it right here. It's a little too sweet for me, man. A little too sweet for me. Most slept on DNA you wouldn't come across on the average Joe. Most slept on DNA for me is, well, when you say DNA, you're wanting me to name a fragrance, though. I thought, when I hear that question, I want to pick out notes. Like vetiver is an extremely slept on note. Patchouli is an extremely slept on note. Mineralic and suede is a very slept on note. Lime is a very slept on note. Heliotrope is a very slept on note. White florals are incredibly slept on, except for fragrances like Pegasus, you know. Um, yeah, those are my keys, man. Those are for sure. Um, yeah, those are some of the ones that stand out to me. I don't know about DNA, but some of the most slept on fragrances in the clone sector is Amir Celestial, Maison Alhambra's Afro Leather. Zara Man is easily slept on because so many people are buying Oud 24 Hours in Black Origami. Laliki Kus, incredibly slept on. Fragheads Asylum, incredibly slept on. Um, Lalique Insume, Lalique Ombre Noir, Lalique Equus, Halloween Man Purple Bottle, and Halloween Man Shot, insanely slept on. Valencia Uomo Intense, incredibly slept on. Fragrance Worlds, Royal Blanc, Glorious Oud Royal Blanc, insanely slept on. No one knows about it. Mont Blanc Presence, super slept on. Um, Maison Alhambra's Cassius, very slept on. Amir Sadrat Essence, slept on. Sahib Intense. These are all fragrances that people might have heard about, but they don't have them. Regular YSL Loam is really slept on. A lot of people know it's a beautiful DNA. However, um, people with YSL today keep buying YSLY, YSL Myself, and La Nuit de L'Homme, and they're rarely going back to original Loam, which is the cheapest but the best to me out of all of them. That DNA is the most slept on. If you want the most unique date night DNA, it sucks in performance, but I don't care. I will spray it 15 times on my skin and my wife will be all over me. YSL Loam is one of the greatest date night fragrances of all time that almost nobody rocks. Everybody rocks freaking YSLY, YSL Myself, and La Nuit de L'Homme. Nobody rocks YSL Loam. It's like 1 per 100 people. Hey brother, I erred and sent the email to submit instead of submit. That's okay, send it to the new one. Kismet lasts long? Yes, 8 to 10 hours plus on Maison Alhambra Kismet. Dun Soir was the old Grand Soir clone. Soir is only a couple months old and much better. Oh, okay. Thanks for clarifying, Shamil. I apologize. How is Supreme L'Homme Intense? How does it compare to Supreme L'Homme Ideal? Oh, I don't know that other clone you mentioned. I have Supreme L'Homme Extreme. And believe it or not, I actually wore this today for Valentine's Day. This is incredible. I have L'Homme Ideal from Guerlain over there. L'Homme Ideal, I don't know if it's an intense or an extreme, but it's the exact equivalent of this. Supreme L'Homme Extreme Eau de Parfum. Got this on Amazon for like 18, 20 bucks. Great performer. 6 to 8 hours of performance. Complete accuracy. Cherry, almond, champagne. Put a bow on it. Call it a day. Great fragrance to have in your collection. This will easily be the best cherry fragrance of all time in the clone category. Champagne, white champagne, cherry, almond. That's all you need. What do you think about Glorious Oud Royal Blanc? 10 out of 10. One of my best pickups of 2025, and we're just getting started. That fragrance is a monster. Any season, any reason, 10 hours plus, 8 hours plus. White florals, musk, and musk. There's one called Emperor Intimation, Clone on Imagination. That would be this one right here. A lot of people don't realize this is a good imagination clone as well. I tell people to get Sahib Intense because it's more complex. It's the better of the two, but this is way cheaper. This is about $35, $40, and you only get 70 ml. This one you get 120 ml, and it's only like $15 to $20 on TikTok Shop. But this is better. This is the best Imagination clone. This is very close. Only about a 10-15% difference between the two. But you get more juice. So to me, again, I think a lot of the LV fragrances have a very basic DNA structure, you know, aquatic with citrus basket on top. So even this is good. You know, you're only going to get maybe like 4 to 6 hours of performance, but you get 120 ml of juice. So just give yourself like 10 sprays and you're totally fine. Journey started in December of 2023. Fragrances before then were gifts and leftovers from teen years. So since then, $3,000, 39 bottles, 96 samples, and 5 on order. Wow, I'm surprised. I'm surprised, Greenlee. I thought it would be more than that. But nonetheless, you have a great collection. Is Pre-Show and Collector's Edition too close to have both? No, absolutely not. No. If I want something closer to Nishane Hasavat, I reach for this. If I want something closer to Aventus Absolute, I go this. They do smell at least 20% different. And their DNAs drive alongside each other, and then in the base, they go like this. Okay? So in the opening, they start right here, and then they just go. So I think both of these fragrances are worth having. For $80, you can get both of them together. So go to fragrancebuy.ca. And now granted, I personally don't think you should buy them at the same time because you may think they're similar enough to want to try a different fragrance. So just get one of them now, and then in a couple of months, if you have the money, pick up the other one. They are both different enough to try. To me, I don't think Club de Nuit Intense Man, Limited Edition Parfum, L'Aventure, and Off Non Supremacy Not Only Intense, and Nitro Black, to me, all those are the same fragrance. So I don't think any of those are different enough to feel different and own any of those together. If you're being a cheapskate, get Club de Nuit Intense Man Limited Edition Parfum if you have to be a cheap butt. But if you want real Aventus as close as you possibly can, you have to get Pre-Show or Off Non Supremacy Collector's Edition. You don't need both. Either one of them will interest you. Again, if you want closer Absolute, go Pre-Show. If you want closer Hasavat, you go Collector's Edition. But if you want to have both a Hasavat feel and an Absolute feel, then you can get both. What does Halloween Man Purple smell like? Halloween Man Purple smells like a combination of... Yes. Okay, so Halloween Man Purple smells like a combination between Invictus Aqua, Valentino Uomo Born in Roma, and Eros EDT. I'm going to say that again. Valentino Uomo... Sorry. No, not Born in Roma. I apologize. Prada Luna Rosa Ocean. So Halloween Man Purple bottle smells like a combination between Prada Luna Rosa Ocean, Invictus Aqua, and what was the other one? Prada Luna Rosa Ocean, Invictus Aqua, and Versace Eros EDT. Oh gosh, it's so good. Guys, this is one of the most this fragrance is criminally underrated. If you like anything in the Invictus line, anything from the Versace line, anything from Prada Luna Rosa line, anything from Valentino line, this beats 90% of the fragrances from all of those houses combined. It encapsulates everything from every house into one very straightforward, any season, any reason, great performing frag. Oh, this kills Hawass. This kills Invictus Aqua. This kills freaking, oh my gosh, it kills it all. Couple minutes left, guys, and I'm signing off. Luciano Cosmic Rock is another alt from Meteor. I haven't smelled it though. Let us know if you get a nose on it. I will. I didn't know Luciano had one. Thanks again. See, the problem with Luciano is Luciano costs between $40 to $60 at any given time. So for me, for an LV DNA, I'm only going to spend $20 for an LV DNA. Now, granted, I got Sahib Intense, but that was only because I wanted to see if Sahib Intense beat out Intimation, and it did. But Sahib Intense is still cheaper than Luciano. Maybe. They might have adjusted the prices. They might be close. But Sahib Intense is really hard to beat, guys. Like, to me, it's 95%. What, guys, I just bought Hugo Boss bottled EDP. That's a good buy. The next one you want to get is Hugo Boss bottled Elixir. What cheap summer frags should I get? So many, man. Summer frag? I mean, you can't go wrong with Eros, man. Eros EDT, 35 to 40 bucks, 100 ml. One of the best fragrances in designer, period. Let's go with that. Did Here Legacy Silver need time to macerate? I just got it and it didn't last on me, but I don't know. Lattafas can really get... Yeah, so the thing about it is it's a metallic lime fragrance. So what I would suggest to you is never judge a fragrance on the first week of wearing. Not because of maceration, but because of nose blindness. A lot of times you buy a fragrance, you're just constantly putting your nose to it or putting it on a test strip or spraying it on your wrist, and then immediately after you spray it, smelling yourself and all that. Just ignore the first week of wear and don't be a sissy sprayer. When you go to spray it for the day, put on like 8 sprays. I'm gonna be honest with you. Break yourself into that fragrance in a real way. Take your Mahir Legacy Silver and hit yourself with 8 sprays. Don't really spray in this area. Try to be on skin as well. But I would go, you know, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe even go 8, 9, or just leave the spray off the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And let 8 sprays sink in. Maybe stand outside for a minute to get out of that opening. Let it all dry down. And then take that out in the world and see how that does for you. Because I think, honestly, Mahir Legacy Silver is an easy DNA to go, what's the word? Nosmic or whatever, where you're nose blind. Best Versace fragrance... Nobody likes my answer, but the best Versace fragrance is Versace Eros EDT. For reasons other than smell. Yeah, Versace Eros EDT. Okay, cool. I have Collector's Edition now. We'll look into getting Pre-Show next. Yeah, if you have Collector's Edition and you move to Pre-Show, you will see a noticeable difference by about 20%. Completely different pineapple rendering on the top and much less oak moss in Pre-Show and more like birchy, pineapple, loud, zingy, zesty. More similar to L'Aventure and Club de Nuit, Intense Man Limited Edition. In that realm, more louder, projective, zingy, zesty, but much better of a DNA than those weaker fragrances. Collector's Edition is really unique because the pineapple is more sweet, canned pineapples, like kind of like this rich, sweet, warm, and then a ton of oak moss sitting behind it just pushing. So it's like soft, rich, sweet oak moss. You know, Pre-Show goes in a different direction. But they're both a Ventisy, so that's the similarity that they share, but I think they're significantly different from each other. Like, if you go in the order of, like, Off Not Supremacy, Not Only Intense, or, like, Club de Nuit or L'Aventure, and you go from any of those 3 to Pre-Show, then you'll be like, oh, yeah, these are all similar, it's just Pre-Show's more higher quality. But if you go from any of those 3 over to Collector's Edition, you'll be like, whoa, this is a completely different fragrance. Like, Collector's Edition smells nothing like L'Aventure, Not Only Intense, or Club de Nuit Intense Man. I love Eros EDT. Oh, I finally got to the bottom of chat. Heck yeah. What ones What one was Eros, Prada, and Invictus Aqua? Halloween Man purple bottle. I have the mini 50 ml because I just do. But this bottle, it's double the size, so this glass part goes down more. You can get for like $30, 120 ml of Halloween Man purple bottle. You have to find a purple bottle because there's like 5 different versions of Halloween Man. My favorite is Halloween Man Shot, but it's a little bit discontinued, harder to find. But this is the most versatile. This is one of the best in the entire line. Only get this one or Man Shot. Man Shot's a little more sexy date night, but still has this DNA all up in it. This is the any season, any reason, any age showstopper. Nice, versatile. Halloween Man, is it an EDT? Yes, it is an EDT. Purple bottle. Extremely cheap, incredible DNA. Okay. Is Aventus cologne worth it? No. No. Fresh, beautiful, effortlessly clean. I would go this, buddy. $70 for 100 ml on fragrancebuy.ca. Go Bulgari Man in Black. Fresh, sophisticated. I don't know if I would call this effortlessly clean, but you could wear a tux or dress upscale with this and have a clean look, but it is a complex fragrance. Sophisticated, vetiver, patchouli, but light, fresh, and but you know, not necessarily a monster, but this has great performance. 8 to 10 hours of performance. $70 for a very niche fragrance. I would try this, Kale, or Faison, sorry. Another one you could try is Tom Ford Grey Vetiver if you're looking for more clean, but the performance is going to be, you're going to be spraying this a lot. But if you want the cleanest, beautiful, fresh, I have to say Tom Ford Grey Vetiver, EDP. Gosh, even this is sexy though. Bright, invigorating citrus on vetiver. Oh, this one's nice, but it's mature. Don't wear this if you're under 30. But if you're 30 and up, this is an incredible, fresh, beautiful, effortlessly clean with some signature and warmth. Oh, God, that's my favorite. I love Eros EDT, but I only have a decant of it. I might buy a full bottle. Hey, Kale, here's the thing. For $30, you can get a 100 ml bottle. It's a no-brainer. Hey, bro, before you sign off, could you please beatbox or rap? I'll beatbox. I agree, YSL L'Homme is much better than La Nuit de L'Homme, but everyone just recommends La Nuit de L'Homme. Yeah, I think it's just because of fragrance reviewers. I mean, La Nuit de L'Homme is an incredible fragrance. It's basically the same thing as L'Homme. It just goes in a slightly different direction, I think more versatile. Whereas L'Homme is like strictly, I love my wife or I want to get that girl fragrance. It's Netflix and chill. It's super cozy. You know what I'm saying? Like if you guys are in a very intimate setting, she's going to want to lay up next to you and get close to you and just smell you all day long. It's a light fragrance, so I think due to performance, people stay away from it. But the DNA is so good that basil note makes the fragrance so much more unique of a fragrance than most fragrances. I'm madly in love with L'Homme. In the designer category, L'Homme is in my top 5. And it's so cheap to get now. The purple one is just Halloween Man EDT. Yes. Okay, I'm going to beatbox for you guys, and then we're going to call it a night. If I missed any questions, put it in the comments section of the live. Thank you, Greenlee. Joel wasn't here, but thank you, Greenlee. Thank you to anybody who submitted. Thank you to people who asked questions, and appreciate you for the night. Okay. Let me turn off the jazz and we'll beatbox. I got to do it somewhat light because my kids are all asleep. Okay. 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 Wait. Wait. There you go. Yeah, collector's edition is my intro to the Aventus Hasselhoff fragrance. Never smelled anything clone or yeah, definitely Molly, go into per show. Really, to me, out of every fragrance ever made from Aventus, if you have Off and On Supremacy Collector's Edition and Arm Off per show, you don't need any more Aventuses at all. You have them all in 2 fragrances. You have the Hasselhoff feel and you have the Absolute feel, which is the best creed to me in the Aventus lineup. You don't even need to go cologne. You don't need to go old formulation. You've got 2 monster compliment getters. Mercedes-Benz or Bentley. Okay, guys. Hope you enjoyed the beatboxing. Love y'all. Have a blessed week. Enjoy your weekend. Have a great Friday. And until next time, I'll catch y'all later. Peace.